Well, hello, good evening, and welcome. It's Delkim Live on a Thursday evening. Hello to you all. Another 30 minutes or so of all things Delkim. If you need help and advice, then I'm your man. I'm Romang. If you've never seen me before, I'm sure most of you have. Much to the disappointment of everyone, but I'm everywhere. So yes, I'm here to help you with all things Delkim. So please, 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 if you need any help or advice on any of our products, old or new, just drop those questions in the comments below, both on YouTube and on Facebook, and we can answer as many questions as we can as the 30 minutes progress. For those of you who didn't see last time's Delkim Live, well worth catching. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see that again. That was basically how simple it is to use the Txi-D and how beep speed works. It was absolutely perfect in showing you how simple these things are and blowing away the myth that these things are overcomplicated just because they've got extra features, just because there are more buttons to press if you want to. The whole simplicity of it is it's set, ready to go. You can just turn it on and fish. That is the whole point. The features are there if you want to adjust. If you don't, you just leave it. And that video succinctly shows how easy they are to use and how people get totally bamboozled by the fact that there's just an extra button instead of a rotary control. And that's what that tells you. Let's just check who's online. Good evening. Oh, Ed Kalu, hello. How are you? Welcome. Good evening. And let's see who's on YouTube tonight. Anybody saying hi or hello? Let me just check the chat. Will Carpi Marty, hello to you. A regular. And Barry Nolan, there he is. Great alarms. First go caught my PB at £52. Well done, sir. Well done to you. They certainly work well. Yes, Delkims do catch you more fish. It's a fact. Nothing picks up the line movement like a Delkim. Others may say otherwise, but it can't be done. And ours definitely help you catch more fish. So, well, happy with that. Obviously, you lot are all coming out to play. I know the snow's put a little bit of a dampener on things, but please do drop your pictures of carp in the snow. Come on, you know you can. If you join our Facebook group, that's the Delkim family. You get in there, loads of people have joined that group, so that gives us a chance to have a bit more of a community feel, that Delkim family feel that we all know and love, where you can share your catches, share your pictures about and love of Delkim and fishing. And of course, we're there where we can help you and interact, and others can help you too. If you have a question, you know, we can't be there 24 hours a day. We will try our best. But, you know, get in that Facebook group, and there's people there that can help you with anything. And of course, we'll always scour it just to make sure that people are giving you the right answers, because sometimes not everybody knows. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But of course, one thing you do need in your life is the Delkim app. So please make sure you have this in your life. The Delkim app, people don't know it exists still. I don't know how, but we do plug it everywhere. So it's got quick guides, instructions, videos on all our products. You've got warranty. You've got, if you want to do a return, obviously lots of people coming out and might find that they've got something that needs looking at as it's been flown in the bag for 6 months or so, or you know, however long it's been in there. We can sort that out. And it's always 10 working days for any returns. So please either be aware, if you're going on a fishing trip tomorrow, we're not going to be able to repair it yesterday, or allow 10 working days, but it's never over that. We always stick to our 10 working days. We've got spares here as well. So if you need any spare parts for your products, if you get them out the bag, then you can get them there. Search Delkim wherever you get your apps from. And this is a great little companion. It's also got a little Delkim warble ringtone as well. Why wouldn't you have that in your life to upset your friends or have a joke? So let's see who's got any questions tonight. Can you just run through the brightness function from day to night mode, please? This is Darren Larson. He's on Facebook. Okay, it's very, very simple. Let me put you onto our other camera here. So I've got my 2 alarms set up. This is TXID. Okay, we have a day-night function. So nighttime has night marking. Daytime doesn't have night marking. That sounds fairly obvious, doesn't it? And you can toggle between the two. And you can set your brightness for day and for night for when you get a run. So as you can see, or I hope you can see, if I do that, you can see that the LEDs are glowing ever so gently. Can you see that on your screen? Probably not. Let me turn the lights down. You'll be able to see that a little bit more. There you go. You can see that the LEDs are glowing ever so gently. So that is in night marking. If I put this into day, I just hold down that button and we've now gone into day mode. There's now no night marking. So if you've turned your alarm on, or one of your alarms hasn't got night marking, or vice versa, that will mean you're in the wrong mode. Okay, so you hold down push button 2, this is the right hand button here. You can hear that it changes mode and then it will switch between that, and then you can set your brightnesses. Default setting is maximum brightness in daytime and medium brightness in nighttime. So that's medium brightness and then that's maximum brightness. You can see how much that's glowing up. So I'll put my little lights back on so you can see. So yes, that's how you just toggle, and it will remember the setting, you see. So if you've had it in day, you turn your alarm off and then back on again and it's nighttime, and you're going, where's the night marking gone? Well, that's because you left it in daytime. So the little ascending tone, if you can just hear that, let me just show you that again. So if I hold it down, boop, boop, goes up for day, goes down for night. But then the obvious difference is that you'll have night marking on. Very, very simple. That's about the only thing you do on there. And if you wanted to actually change the brightness of the LED, you would hold the button down and it will then cycle through. So now if I hold it down, there you go, it's adjusting the LED brightness. So now I'll put that on maximum. So there's 8 levels. So if I hold it down again, it starts back at 1. I've set it to 4. There you go. So you can see that. Okay, so that's very, very simple of setting the LED brightness. Who else? I forgot now. Is that Darren? Yes, it was. Okay. New here. My new Delkim's really impressed. Thank you. Yes, Ed Kergu, thank you very much. Hope you like the new alarms. What is the range on my D receiver, please? So Andy Carter on Facebook. The range of our receiver, obviously, it does depend on bankside conditions, but the range of the receiver is about 750 meters in a line of sight. So in a straight line, no trees or anything, about 750 meters. So more than enough to just turn it on and do what you want to do. And you know, it's a usable. We make no claim to have the receiver that goes the furthest, never have done, and don't really want to. What we do have is a receiver that works and does what it needs to do, so you can just wander around and do what you need to do next swim or whatever. Obviously we shouldn't be away from our rods anyway, so this is for an emergency to see, but obviously it's always the how far does it go, mister. But you do have different ranges on the receiver. So if I turn the receiver on, might be something you don't know, but out the box it's in standard range, which is basically what you'd need, you know, general fishing. What you can do if you're feeling a little bit a bit more technical on that day, if you want to, if I'm in swim, if I hold down push button 1, you see the purple LED lit up. I've now put that into short range. So short range is about 50 meters, a bit like local on the old receiver RX Plus Pro if you were having one of those. And now that maximizes your battery life, so because it's not using as much power. If I hold the button down, this is push button 1. Okay, second light here, red, that is back to standard range. And if I want to, if I hold it down and it goes for 3 beeps, you see there all 3 have lit up. That's now in range boost. So that gives you 15 minutes of absolute maximum power if you really need to go somewhere a little bit extreme. In a line of sight, that's about 1,000 meters. Okay, but it only does that. It's obviously using more power and it will time out after 15 minutes. If you need it longer than that, you'll have to turn it back on. But straight out the box, it always defaults back to the standard range. So more than enough to do what you need to do. What do we got here? Let's just have a look. Paul Andrews, do you repair cosmetics on Delkims? No, we've spoken to you on Messenger. If we spend all day repairing or reconditioning alarms, we'd never have time to do anything else. We certainly have a second to none after sales care for faulty items. But if you've got one that's looking a bit sad because it got scratched, or there's something, you know, you just want to tart it up to make it ready for sale, or just to buff it up for the season, unfortunately, I'm ever so sorry, we do not have the time and the manpower to be reconditioning alarms, making them look new again. That isn't what we do. We repair faults, and we do that quickly and very, very effectively and very, very efficiently in terms of price. But we do not repair cosmetics unless the damage is hampering the use of the product. So say you've got a massive line cut. Get me alarm. Just grabbing one, sorry people. So say you've got a massive line cut in here because something went that way and cut into that. Well, okay, that hampers the product and we would do that. But if you've just scratched it up, it's got dirty overuse, then that's not something that we would be able to do, I am afraid, because there aren't enough hours in the day. I use Delkim's, my best alarms on the market. Thank you, Mark Owen, thank you very much. Also sent one of the alarms back for repair, had it repaired and returned within 10 days with no charge. Thanks, brilliant service, 10 out of 10. Paul Sutton, thank you very much. That's what we're here for. Obviously, it is getting busy now for returns. It's that time of year again, spring. Doesn't look like it today. But people are coming out to play. So just be aware, we might be edging towards our maximum time limit of 10 working days rather than when things are a bit quieter, when it might be 5 to 7. But, you know, we always understand that. So, you know, we make sure we cover and make sure we put some manpower into people when they all come out to play. I want to send everything back for repair. One thing as well, we do not service. We're going to have this discussion on returns, but we do not service. Okay, so Delkims don't have any moving parts, apart from the rotary controls, but nothing to wear out. They work or they don't. If you've got alarms that are fine, then they don't need looking at. You don't get somebody in to have a look at your TV when it's been working fine. If it goes pop on the wall, then you get somebody in. Bit like your alarms. There's no point sending all 3 in a receiver back to us, oh, just for service. No good to us. We can't do anything. There's nothing wrong with them. So it just is waste of our time, your time, and there's nothing we can do. If you've got a fault, please specify it, and we'll get that nailed and get it sorted and get you fishing very, very quickly. There's Tony. Hello, Tony. Davis Patrick. How are you? They said to my ex-wife. Possibly. I don't know, mate. Could well be. I've got old Delks. One of the LEDs has faded. I did see that if you took them apart, but quickly realised I couldn't, I'll send them back for repair. Yes, I would. Don't bother trying to do a self-repair or somebody else that isn't Delkim. We can fix them for a very reasonable price. We don't charge an arm and a leg. We do a good job. They're resealed, they're re-waterproofed, and they've got a 12-month guarantee. Just get them back to the people that know. If you've got the very old ones, the original single LED ones, we can't fix them anymore, and that's disappointing for us, but they're over 20 years old. We just don't have the parts. We can't fix them. There's nothing we can do to replace them. So we had to call a line to that, and we did that quite a while ago. But the Plus range, fully supported, and we'll fix them for you. No problem at all. Let's have a check on YouTube. Anybody got any questions on there? No, Nick Minter? They're all happy. Evening, Lee. So what I will do is do a quick look at the receiver, because we did the Txi-D last week. But what I want to do is have a quick look at the receiver. Let's turn that down so it doesn't hurt my ears quite so much. Now, a couple of key things on this receiver that people may or may not know. Certainly a lot of people don't know. Get asked a lot for a Bivvy light. And I keep showing this one and people, I didn't know that. Right? People want a light that goes off when their alarm goes off. This receiver has a Bivvy light function built in. So if I hold down the outer two buttons, sorry, do that again, these two buttons here, okay, 1 and 2. So if I hold down these two buttons, that has now activated what we call RunLite. So if I get a single pulse, nothing happens. So this is on at night. But if I get a run, something that goes on for about 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the LEDs will light up, and you can see how bright that is. That's all the individual colours there, but you can see it through the screen, and it just becomes a big blur of white. Now, if you're in your bivvy at night, that is more than sufficient to light up your bivvy for you to get your boots on, wake up, get your head torch on and go out and land the fish. That is a light built in one. Why do you need an extra bit of kit? We're already carrying tons of stuff, so why do we want an extra bit of kit? So again, it doesn't go off at every single beep. It needs something that's going, so basically a run, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the lights light up, and now you've got a Bivvy light, which I think is quite neat, does the job. And you can just turn that off by turning the receiver off completely, or just deactivate it with buttons 1 and 2. Now, one of the little magic features that this receiver has is DND, do not disturb. So, one of the things with vibration, or when you get heavy downpours like we've got today, or hailstones, certainly as spring is coming, April showers and stuff, you get tap, tap on the line, things bounce around. If I turn that up a little bit more, hits the line, keep getting tap, tap, tap as the rain hits the line. So a big shower comes in, you're getting false beeps. You don't want to go out and adjust all the settings, you don't want to get wet. It looks like it's going to blow over, you know, it's a squall. But what you can do then is set what's called DND, do not disturb. So if I hold down push button 2 and 3, okay, it makes a little blankety blank noise. And now, you can see that's gone off, but nothing's coming through the receiver. So it's ignoring all those pitter-patters on the line. So now if I get a run, something that goes on for about 3 or 4 seconds, it kicks in. So that is, you know, time to do something. So you've not had to get out there, get all wet, and that will time out after 15 minutes. So once the rain has passed, the shower, the hailstones, it will time out, or you can just turn it off. So again, you can see it's just missing that pitter-patter. You suddenly get a hit on the line, but anything that goes on, so I've got a run, it's kicked in, 1, 2, 3, 4, kicks in. And you can turn that off again with the 2 buttons, or turning the receiver off and back on again cancels it. Okay, now we're back to normal again. You can lock that on as well if you wanted to. Okay, so if I hold the 2 buttons down, keep them held down, there you go. Now that's DND lock, that's on permanently. Now that might be useful, let's say night time, you're fishing in the middle of the lake, you want to get a reasonable light to keep, you don't want to be every little tweak, or you might bream or crayfish or something, and you're fishing somewhere safe, and you can just leave that on until you get something big that wakes you up. Obviously you would not do that if you're fishing by a snag, anywhere where a fish could get tethered. You do not want to lock it on, but it's there for the right moment if you're fishing somewhere nice, big, safe, with no obstacles, no snags, and you could leave that tagged on. Again, just doing that turns that off. So those are the two little party pieces of the RXD. So RunLite and DND. Yeah, there's some other little bits on there as well. You can change the vibro mode. You've obviously got the anti-theft that they all have, but those are the two extra features on the receiver. So again, very useful indeed, very useful bits of kit. What's the clip on the rod? Says Luke123. That is a smart clip. That helps you with your visual indication. So if you hold on a second, Luke, I will come to that once I've just double checked if anybody else has anything more to say. And we shall see. How do you put all three alarms under the same colour? Mark Owen, yes. Okay, we'll cover those two things then, shall we? Let's do a bit of pairing, and then I'll have a little talk about the smart clip, which is really a very useful bit of kit for you guys. Definitely worth having in your armoury. So let me switch back over here. So pairing, I'll have to get another, I'll get another alarm out, so just bear with me, hold on a second. Got a couple here. As if by magic, I've got a white one and a green one. Okay, so they're all there. So, at the moment I would imagine, because these were what we took to the show, that they are paired in the, so one is, the other one isn't. So that one's in the white, this one's in the purple, and that one isn't paired at the moment. So they're in their matching colours. Now you don't have to have them matching at all. So basically each alarm has its own individual code, and when you go into pairing mode, you are pairing the code to the receiver. You're not pairing the colour. You can match it up. You could have all blue and have them coming out all the different ones, or you can have them all mixed up. You could have purple coming out of red and white out of green. You can do whatever you like. It doesn't have to match. But what you can also do is that you can have up to 4 in each channel. So I could have 4 coming out the purple or blue or whatever, you know, 24 alarms effectively coming out of here. So that's what we call multi-channel pairing. Now if you want to do that, then I will show you. One thing that is very useful, and people seem to not understand that if you buy an extra one, so if you had a set of 3, say you've got a set of 2, and you're gonna go out in the spring and buy a extra alarm, a 3rd one or a 4th one, you must clear the memory of the receiver and pair all your alarms again for you to be able to match them up. You can't just add a single alarm on top of what you've already paired. Same as the old system, you couldn't do it, you couldn't overwrite it. So it's no different than we did previously, but you have to clear the memory of the receiver and start again. So as we're going to do multi-channel pairing, it's a good time to show you how to clear the memory of the receiver. So what you do is if you turn the receiver off, so lights go that way, receiver is off. To clear the memory of the receiver, you turn it on, you keep the button held down, all 3 buttons held down, wait for those 2 pips that you heard, and then you hold down push button 3. It makes that reset sound, shuts itself off, and now that has wiped the memory of the receiver, put it back to how it would be out the box. So now if I turn it back on by holding all 3 buttons, we're back to how it was out the box. So it goes straight into pairing mode out the box. So it's asking me what I'd like to pair in that one. So in normal circumstances, I'd go, right, I just activate my purple one. You can see it's got the code, it confirmed, and now it's automatically moved on to the red. And then I would activate the next one. So I can activate the white one. It's picked that one up. It's giving you an error tone because that one was still beeping, so you can't pair the same alarm twice. And then you'd go through that. But we don't want to do that because we wanted to show you multi-channel pairing. So if you're in pairing mode and you do something wrong and you've not finished, if you just turn the receiver off and back on again, it just cancels it all. So you don't need to go through that if you, oh, I got them in the wrong order. Right, so this is saying, right, I'm in single channel pairing. What would you like to do? So we want to go to multi-channel. So all you have to do is you hold down push button 1 while it's in pairing mode and wait for a beep. So you hold it down, it's beep, and then 2 beeps, and now it's pipping at me and it's saying, what would you like to be paired? So if I activate the purple, I nudged it. So it's now stayed. So it got the code and it now stayed on the purple. So now it knows that I'm looking for another one in the purple channel. So if I activate the white one, so it got the white one. It still stayed there. So now I've got the green one. I can activate that. He says, hopefully. Ah, that's not the right one. Hold on a second. That's an EV. That'll be why that's not doing that. So bear with me a second. Oh, I beg your pardon. I haven't got a third one, but you can see that that has stayed in there and it stayed there. So now if I've finished, I can just keep pressing that push button 1, skip over the other channels. And now I've got that one in there, in the purple, and that one in the purple. And you can see that when I activated the white one, it flashes twice. So that indicates that this was in channel 2. And if it was the third one, it would flash 3 times. If it was the fourth one, it would flash 4 times. So if I do the first one again, that will flash once. There you go, flashing once to indicate the channel. So you can see a slight difference when you do them. So yes, you can have up to 4 in each should you wish. That is multi-channel pairing. Of course, everything is on the app. If you need a video to go through that again, then you can do that and you can see it on there. So that's multi-channel pairing. Hopefully that helped you out. Let's just check if there's any other questions coming in while looking at the board. Quick note, why does the light flash on my receiver? This is Simon Noble. That is the power on indicator, Simon. So the power on indicator, that shows you that the receiver is on and it's working, a bit like a smoke detector. It just gives a little blink. You can turn that off. If you see section 3.1 of the instructions, you can turn that off. Okay, this is Dave Shortland. Hi, Newton. I'm very impressed with the TXIDs. Water was choppy. I found having the response at 6 on the clock face of the Bivvy 3 was perfect, sweet spot. A handful of beeps and it's awesome, very impressive. Yes, I very much say that probably Bivvy 3 is probably the best. Certainly Bivvy 2 or 3, probably a very good starting point if you are going to change it. Obviously 4 is the default, which is set similar to a TXI Plus, so all you guys switching over know that they're, can get that feel for it being similar. But yes, Bivvy 3 slows them beeps down, stops it going into meltdown, and of course you can get away with sensitivity. That seems a very good starting point, Dave. 6 o'clock on the dial and Bivvy 3, I wouldn't argue with that. Who else? Any more questions coming in on that? Hopefully I did explain it. Can I set them so I don't get the warble, just beep, beep, beep? It's one more cast. That's, well, yes, you could turn the beep speed right down and turn your response down, but the warble is when it's going fast enough for you to strike. So why would you not want the warble? Don't quite understand that, but if I, if you ask a question, I'll answer it. So if I, might not be able to do it here, but let me have a look. So if I put this on beep speed 1, this is push button 1 does the beep speed, and now it's not quite going into warble, so that's the lowest beep speed. Where have I got that? I've got that about, if I crank that up to maximum response, it's not even going into warble, I don't think. If I put it into beep speed 2, there you go, it's going into warble. So yeah, if you want to, you can slow the beeps down so that you hardly get any beeps, and you can, you know, set it so you don't get the warble. You'll still, as you saw there, if I put that back to 1, I'm still getting quite a few beeps, and it still goes slowly, so I'm still picking up, and it's still quite sensitive. If I put that down to about 6 o'clock, I'm still getting beeps, and it's not going to warble. It might do if it belts off the bait runner, but yeah, you can set it, you know, on the lowest beep speed, and it does depend on your line and setup. But yeah, you can stop it going into the warble if you want to. That is one thing. Right, somebody asked me about smart clips. So let me turn this receiver off, and let me show you what these are for. So hopefully you can see this nicely on here. There's one on here as well. And the whole point of the smart clip is it allows an equal angle between the alarm and then obviously where the hanger hangs. So by having it coming straight from the reel, if I disconnect that, you can see it starts to pull, and it starts to pull tight already onto the bail arm of the reel. So it's already tight, and I don't get that extra bit of movement. What it also does, because it's pulling from further away, it starts to increase the tension. Feels a bit heavier. So as it pulls, it's feeling heavier, 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 and we've all had it where something goes, oh, I don't want that anymore. And that might be because of what's happening with your bobbins. By putting this on the rod, and I can show you how easy it is to do. Can you see that there? So it's just got, it's a little clip, it's got a little O-ring, it just fits over the rod. You slide that over, you can put it anywhere you want, but ideally you put it roughly so that there's an equal angle there. And now the bobbin pulls all the way to the top without any increase in tension. It's the same weight top to bottom. You know, in the old days, we'd use our butt rings, as you can see. You can just about see the butt ring there. But because the rods are now, there's no butt rings, you know, far less, you haven't got one. So it's effectively doing the job of a butt ring. It's free running, and when you strike, it clips out. So that is what a smart clip does. Great little bit of kit. Doesn't have to be Delkim related. If you've got any other alarms and any other hangers, it does exactly the same job. 3 in a pack, $14.99. Well worth having in your armoury. It just gives you that extra bit more sensitivity to your bobbins. That's the main thing. And just one other point is, the closer you move it to the alarm, the lighter it makes the bobbin feel. So if I have it right up there, it does make it feel a lot lighter. And then by moving it away, you could balance it out. So if you were getting a little bit of bobbin creep that was giving you false beeps, you could, instead of adding another 5 grams, say, to your bobbins, you know, and whatever increments your weights go up, you can just move this back slightly and counterbalance how that's pulling against the undertow. I hope that was of some use to anybody there. It did explain a few things. You know, people haven't seen smart clips before. You know, it's just one of those things. They are very, very useful. Other people do other things. They are not the same as the clip that's above your reel. Not the same at all. That is a completely different feel. It's no different really for it pulling out of your bail alarm or pulling straight. So having it up there by the bite alarm is far better. There are some other clips that you can move around, but the fact that that's free running, it just pings out, it's perfect. It does the job, and they're really, really useful little bits of kit. So, very good. So Alexander Blanchani, hello. Smart clips for years now. They are well worth every penny. Great little tools. Thank you very, very much. Luke123, sold on the demo. Thank you very much. I think we'll leave it there then, shall we, boys and girls? Thank you so much. If there are other questions, I will follow them up in the chat over the next day or so. So please feel free, if you're watching this again or coming to it late, please put your messages down there. We're always here to help. Make sure you download our app, Delkim app. Make sure you join our Facebook group, Delkim Family, and then we're there to help you and help each other. One more thing, shall I squeeze it in before we go? And it's been something that people are doing. If you're going to accessorize your alarms in the coming weeks, because we had somebody say this today, so this will be my parting shot, is that be aware. I'm going to try and hold them in my little chipolatas. So, safeties and d-loks for the old system. They've got pictures of the old things on them. They've got pictures of the old products on. Okay, these are the original versions. And V2 versions are for the digital range. So don't buy the wrong ones, people. V2 is for the new alarms. And if it doesn't say V2, and it's got a picture of the old ones on, surprise, surprise, it is for the old ones. That's it from me. Hopefully it will thaw and you can get out fishing this weekend. Hope you catch well, and that's it. Good night, have a good weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.